Good morning students, myself Dr. Kamal Khan Joshi, Head Department of Environmental Science, Graphic Era, Hill University, Dehradun. Today we will discuss on the water pollution, and in this lecture we will cover the different sources of water pollution and their effects. So let's start this topic. The water is a basic need for every living things, and the valuable or the important thing in this water is dissolved oxygen. So the pollution of water is totally based on the dissolved oxygen. If we decrease the dissolved oxygen from the water, so water become pollute. So simply you can define the water pollution as the changes in the water quality, it may be physical or the chemical, is known as the water pollution. There are some foreign particles, it is known as the pollutants, it may be chemical or the biological, which are the responsible for the pollution. Because these pollutants or the foreign particles, they may decline the dissolved oxygen from the water and water become pollute. And the value of water is just because of dissolved oxygen. So the basic principle of water pollution is decline of dissolved oxygen from the water body or the water. Now here we will discuss on the sources of water pollution. Technically, or on the basis of their sources, the water pollution may be divided into two types, like the point source and the non-point sources. Point source, these are the direct water pollution sources, or you can say the effluent or the waste material. When you see that the effluent may directly dump into the fresh water body, so these point is considered as a point source. For example, you can see here like this outlet of sewage treatment plant and the factory effluents, where the factory effluent where they directly disposed into the water bodies, sometimes in refineries and the mining areas also. So these are the point sources. You can see here in this picture, the first one picture, this one is a point source, which indicate that this one is the effluent or the waste material. This one is directly dumped into this water bodies or the drain. So here you can say this one is the point source. And the non-point source are indirectly water pollution sources. Means it is, you can see in this picture, like this is indicating like clearly this one is a non-point source. For example, solid waste dumping sites, where we collect the solid waste in a particular area. During the rain, these solid waste dissolve with the rainwater, and these water run off into the nearest water body. So here you are not directly polluted our water body, but indirectly you can see the solid waste dumping sites, or sometimes we use a chemical fertilizers, insecticides, pesticides in the agricultural fields. They persist a long time in the soil, and during the rain these chemicals, they run off with this rainwater and enter into the nearest water body, or sometimes they leach out and enter into the underground water. So both the way the water become pollute. So you can understand that these are the non-point source. You are not directly polluting our water body, but indirectly the water become pollutes. So these are the main sources, and with this example you can easily understand that how the water become pollute. Now we will discuss on the effects of water pollution. You can see in this slide water pollution effects may be divided into basically two types. First one is ecosystem effects, and second one is effects on the human being. So water pollution affect directly on our ecosystem by these technical terms. First one is eutrophication, second one is bioaccumulation and magnification, and third one is siltation. Similarly, in the human being, the several types of disease, they are the responsible, which indicate that the effects of water pollution, and these disease may be divided into two types, like the biological disease. These are generally originated through the microbes and the pathogens, and second one is a chemical disease, which indicate the excess amount of chemical into the water body, or if the human being is consumed this rich chemical polluted water, the human being may get affected. So let's discuss one by one this example effects of water pollution. So first one is the eutrophication. Eutrophication is very commonly termed, which indicates the excess bloom of algae in the water body. You can see in nearby area in near water body where water in generally in healthy water bodies it look like a blue in color, but sometimes its color you can see like a greenish color. So green color is indicating that the algae are developing in this water body. So this process is happening when the nutrition materials in terms of NPK, nitrogen, potassium and phosphorus, so these material they may enter into the water body. So these nutrients they stimulate the excess growth of algae, and which is known as the algal bloom, and this phenomena is considered as the eutrophication. During this eutrophication, the excess bloom of algae, they acquired a lot of oxygen from the water body, and the dissolved oxygen from the water body become decline and water become pollute. For the healthy water body, it is permissible limit of dissolved oxygen is 5 ppm. When this dissolved oxygen become decline about 3 or below than 3, then their adverse effect you can see on the aquatic animals also, and water become pollute. So this one is the procedure of eutrophication, and in Uttarakhand state the Nainital lake is very notorious is to the eutrophication. The responsible for the eutrophication is the nitrogen and the phosphorus, and phosphorus is high as compared to nitrogen. Now second effects of water pollution is bioaccumulation and the magnification. Sometimes some chemicals they enter into the water body through different ways, comes from the industries as well as some agriculture fields also. So these chemicals they persist for a long time in the aquatic ecosystem, and these chemicals are directly consumed by the aquatic animals also. So the consumption of these chemicals by the aquatic animals, this one is known as a bioaccumulation. Basically these chemicals are accumulated in the fatty tissues of these animals, and when these animals is consumed by the different consumers, so these chemicals directly enter into the secondary consumers also through the food chain. And the magnification, in the magnification procedure, when these chemicals their concentration they may increase in each different trophic levels or in the food chain, this one is known as the biomagnification. Means that the percentage of these chemicals or the polluting chemicals, they are increasing in different trophic levels. This one is known as the biomagnification also. Here you can see in this picture, so DDT is a very notorious example of this biomagnification. So DDT is a harmful chemical which is generally used for the insecticides, and they persist a long time on aquatic ecosystem. So generally this chemical is consumed by the phytoplanktons. Similarly, when this phytoplankton is consumed by the zooplankton, their percentage is directly enter through the food chain in the zooplankton. So their concentration they always found rich, because these zooplanktons first they consume this chemical through the food habit, like consuming the phytoplankton, as well as they also consume directly from the aquatic ecosystem or the water bodies. Similarly, the small fishes they also consume this zooplanktons or phytoplanktons, so their concentration similarly increase in the small fish. Or same way this percentage of DDT is always increased in the necton predatory fish also, and there is adverse effects have been shown in the fishes also as well as in the aquatic birds also, because their egg shells they become thin, and it has been reported that the population of water birds they feed on this contaminated fish or the water bodies, their population they may decline. So this one is a very common as well as very popular example of biomagnification. Now here we will discuss on the chemical effects or the disease. So as we have discussed that in previous slide, the water pollution effects is two types of effects. Majorly effect has been divided, like the aquatic ecosystem or ecosystem and the human being effect. So some chemical disease, so chemical effects or the chemical disease which are directly indicate the adverse effects on the human being also. So here you can see the example of arsenic. Arsenic it cannot be directly consumed by the human being, but sometimes some insecticides and pesticides, these arsenic is used in the formation of these compounds. So these chemicals are used as an insecticide and pesticide in our agriculture fields, and they run off enter into the, so these arsenic compound with sulfur is consumed by the producers as well as some zooplanktons and some small fishes also. When the animal is directly consume this water as well as the fish, aquatic animal of this polluted water body, so their adverse effects is shown on in the human being skin. Sometimes skin cancer also reported through the arsenic effects. Sometimes they directly affects on the immune system, adversely effects on the nervous system, respiratory systems, liver and kidney also. So these are the effects of arsenic in the human being. It has been reported by the many reports. Now second one chemical is generally used, this one is mercury, and their adverse effect is well known as a Minamata disease. Mercury cannot be directly consumed by the human being, but the different ways, sometimes fruit preservatives, chemicals, agricultural chemicals like fertilizers, municipal waste also. So these things release some few amount of mercury, and these mercuries is run off from the source and enter into the nearest water bodies. So these contaminated water, mercury contaminated water is consumed by the human beings through directly, as well as sometimes when the human being is consume the fishes, aquatic organisms from this contaminated lake or the water body, so their adverse effect is shown in the human being also. The mercury is directly effects on the nervous system, central nervous system of the human being. So paralysis attacks, diarrhea, vomiting, skin rashes, so such types of symptoms they indicate like the mercury effect. In a history in Japan 1953 it has been reported the contamination of mercury, and disease was nomenclature of the disease was Minamata disease, because it was introduced in the city of Minamata. So because this poisonous mercury poisonous symptoms was observed by the human being of the Minamata city. So these are the adverse effects of mercury or the disease has been reported by the human being by the consuming of this polluted water. The other chemicals like the iron is also contaminate our water body, or when the human being is consumed this iron contaminated water body, so their adverse effects in shown like the tissue damage, as well as these higher concentration of iron is directly consume our tissues as well as the human being organs also. Sometimes it indicate like the vomiting, diarrhea, as well as the internal bleedings through the contamination of this iron. And next one disease is also known as the blue baby syndrome, and when the nitrogen contamination in the form of nitrate is found in water body, generally this nitrogen is entered into the water body from the agriculture waste. So these excess amount of nitrogen in terms of nitrate, they create a nitrate react with the dissolved oxygen and convert into oxyhemoglobin. So the generally this oxyhemoglobin, they decrease the oxygen carrying capacity into the human being, and their adverse effect is shown the skin colors become changed. Sometimes colors become a bluish color. They also create some heartbeats also, weakness also, and fatigue. These are the symptoms of the blue baby syndromes, or the highly polluted nitrogen is consumed in the water. Here in this slide you can see the permissible limit as per the Indian standards. So these are the permissible limits. If these chemicals are available or found in the water body, so these are the permissible limits. If their percentages become high, so this water cannot be consumed by the human being. So arsenic, as you can see that this one is 0.05 mg per liter. This one is the permissible limits, or you can say this one the threshold limits. So if its percentage become increase, so water become more polluted, and you have to avoid such types of water from the water body. So these are the basic effects, chemicals. They are generally pollute our water bodies. Now some microbial disease. Sometimes some microbes in village areas or nearby water body, you can see that sometimes directly sewage or the untreated sewage, they may directly dispose into the water bodies or the open sanitary system. This one is the responsible for the microbial disease. So when the microbes, they may increase into the water body, so these microbes, they consume this dissolved oxygen from the water body, and they increase the biological oxygen demand. So when the biological oxygen demand, they may increase in the fresh water body, obviously the dissolved oxygen, they become reduced, or we have already discussed that the dissolved oxygen, they may decrease, so the water become pollute. So the microbes, the entrance of microbes or the population of microbes in found rich in the water body, so water the BOD level will high in such types of water bodies. Here you can see some some common pathogens. They are generally found in water or water body, so they are the responsible for the different disease. For example, the protozoans like the amoebiasis disease. This one is generally found rural areas and village areas also, where the untreated sewage is dumped into the fresh water bodies. So their symptoms are the fatigue, weight loss, diarrhea, sometimes a fever. These are the common disease. Similarly, you can see like the cholera is also responsible. So cholera is a disease, and this one is symptoms is you can see that the rapid pulse and vomiting. This one is the reason. This one just because of presence of Vibrio cholerae, the bacteria. So these are the microbial disease which is generally found after the consuming of such contaminated water. Thank you very much, students. In next lecture we will discuss on the water treatment. Thank you very much.